How's it going, guys? Panther Films here, and today we're going to be reacting to Season 2, Episode 12, the series finale of Andor. This episode is titled Jedha, Kyber, Erso. Now, last episode, we basically dealt with the aftermath of Luthen's death, Claire trying to get into contact with Wilman, and she was hoping someone would find her in time, and they did. Cassian took off, left Yavin, and went to go save Claire on Coruscant with Melshi. So yeah, I mean, that was mostly last episode. I mean, we got to see K2 with Melshi and Cassian. They were doing, like, basically dominoes, in a way. I don't know what the game's actually called, but it's like where, you put the dominoes together and then you kind of add it up, and then, like, whoever's got the bigger number ends up winning or something like that, then. So yeah, it's basically like the Star Wars equivalent of that. But yeah, K2 was fucking hilarious. Him throwing the guy over the fucking wall was amazing. Are you one of ours? No. But yeah, Hurt, I think his name is, the Imperial officer. He has gone after Claire with a few other Imperial officers, and they're all in the apartment building that Bix and Cassian stayed at early on this season. And also Cassian and Melshi are there, so they're all going to come face to face. K2 is taking out a bunch of others outside the apartment building, so it's all going to come to a head. Can they get Claire safe? I mean, they've got the information that Claire got from Luthen. Like, she said the keywords like Jedha, Kyber, Erso, Galen Erso. Like, they've got that information now, so do they really need Claire anymore? But yeah, the scene with Dedra and Krennic was fucking amazing. Him putting his finger on her head is ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how this all comes to an end. It's probably going to be pretty bittersweet considering, what happens in Rogue One. I mean, even Rogue One was bittersweet, to be honest, but, now we're going to have a perfect show to lead into Rogue One. It's going to be, basically, a lot of people have been saying it's going to be the best trilogy, the Andor trilogy. You've got, like, Andor Season 1, Andor Season 2, and then Rogue One. But then you've also got to count A New Hope, because A New Hope basically follows up Rogue One immediately. But yeah, it sucks Luthen's gone. I hope the information that Claire gives to the rebels on Yavin, if she even makes it to Yavin, or Cassian gives to the rebels, is enough to convince them. But it won't be. Because in Rogue One, they're not even convinced when they have full, hard evidence, But yeah, I mean, that basically sums it all up. So let's stop doolalleying around with this shitty intro and get right in to the final episode.
Oh no.
Are you with us? No. Why wasn't that in the recap? K2 fucking knocking a guy over the edge. It's funnier because it's people we don't like, but he did that to literally the Gorman people, you know what I mean? Like, I love the intro, but I just wish the previously didn't exist. Get rid of the previously and you could have more time for the episode. Like, the previously is like 3 minutes or something like that, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And then you have this, which takes up another like 30-40 seconds. It all ends here.
What a bitter ending.
Nothing's ending. You're keeping Luthen alive.
I think I've heard that this is a first acting job. If it is, then Jesus Christ, how the fuck?
I'm not leaving you here.
Feels like they just recapped the conversation they had at the end of last episode. Ooh, damn, look at that blood on the fucking console. There's only 5 of them.
Still no comms.
We're wasting time.
It's like night vision. Give me a game like this. I guess like Republic Commando, right? Surely they would have heard that.
Is that it?
Yeah.
We wasted so much time. Now they're here.
You can tuck in, sir. Got this from here.
You can tuck in, sir. Wait, is that the green? Wait. Wait, let me pause it. Can you see the green screen through the window? What else would that be? The window's open. Why is it green outside?
Don't, what? Leave it.
Why would you leave it open? What if they throw something?
Is there another way out?
Not that we have time for.
We can still close the door. Come back!
Why would he stop? What? That's so dumb. Why would they just stand there?
Well, they had a few seconds to react there. They could have turned away from it. Also, that threw them all up in the air. She's knocked out. There he comes. Surely he exceeds the weight limit, right? Oh, he's dead. Oh my god. He's using him as a shield. He just throws people. I don't know what... You know who it is.
Cassian.
Cassian. No shit. See, this is what I mean. You need a character like K2 to have some light-hearted comic relief. It's amazing. Even though he did some fucked up things on Gorman.
Push the request. Push it now.
Partagaz has failed. See what I mean though? If Clay was down here, she could have just met them there. But I guess she didn't know like when they were coming in, right? Last time Cassian will be on Coruscant. She hit her head, didn't she, when she got stunned off the fucking wall or something. She still hasn't seen K2 yet.
You can speed up now.
Well, they got her back to Yavin. The question is, will they believe her?
Why, whenever I'm being scolded
Oh,
and
Saw.
you, the rebellion is bigger than all of us.
Okay, he's looking like Rogue One.
All I
And
know
Mon.
is how small and how fragile it's all become.
And Bale.
We know you're on Jedha, Saw.
What you hear, poking at my window. How many more madlings? You have no idea where I am.
We know you're on Jedha, so... No.
Fight, as well as you lie.
Oh, he's got a good point though. I mean, they spend more time negotiating and talking than actually fighting.
We've been probing his team for over a year now. It's an active operation.
The thing that does suck is how they're so secretive in this show, but then in other Star Wars stuff, they're not as secretive. Like, they just let a fucking smuggler, a Wookiee, and some random people in. I mean, sure, they have fucking Leia, but still. They were getting trapped by the Empire, too.
Admiral Raddus requested you join him.
Raditz.
Is this Andor?
I believe so.
With a stolen ship?
Sir,
Hey, Raditz! His sacrifice will be remembered.
it's not the comm unit.
Try again. Getting close, aren't we?
I suspect we'll be
Well,
shot
yeah.
down as an enemy probe.
Shut up, Kate.
Imagine after all this, they just get shot down. Be fucking tragic, but it'd be hilarious.
I planned to tell him I was kidnapped.
I give up. I give up. Fucking K2, dude. Cracks me up.
Who else is with you? Hello.
Just us. Take it to the sick bay.
I love how they're so secretive, but they don't give a fuck when the Millennium Falcon shows up. I guess they do communicate with them, right? I think. I can't remember too well with New Hope. Raditz is there, nice.
They'll be back.
Oh, these fucking two.
Luthen is dead.
Hmm.
She has some very urgent. Luthen Rail had a source in the ISB. He just learned that the Emperor's secret energy project was the cover story for the manufacture of a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a weapon are we talking about?
I don't know about the weapon.
Then what's the point? Let him finish.
That there's a connection between the Gorman destruction, the Kyber mining on Jedha, and an Imperial engineer named Galen Erso.
All of this conveniently wrapped in a big energy program basket.
Shut up.
Like a paranoid fantasy.
Oh, it's true.
Luthen Rail died for this.
Yeah, like he
And how
died
has
for it.
that been?
I know you share a long history. It's hard not to wonder if your judgment here might be less than objective.
Does anyone in this room, besides Senator Mothma, have any idea how much you owe him?
Oh, please.
Fucking idiots.
And I made my choice 2 years ago, but none of that can take away what he did and how hard it was. But it's insulting to hear him run down by people who have given a fraction of his sacrifice to this rebellion.
Enough!
Not even that. Like, what the fuck has he done for the rebellion?
A year ago,
A year ago.
when he had me rescue Senator Mothma from the Senate.
Duly noted. A lot can happen in a year, wouldn't you agree?
I mean, sure, but not enough to show it.
His inability to collaborate, the web of doubts that he created.
This is active intelligence.
More like puffed up speculation.
You are forbidden from accessing your ship and confined to quarters.
I wonder if Draven agrees with it.
Requesting permission to visit the infirmary.
Permission granted.
So annoying, man. That's what I mean. Like, Luthen's sacrifice was basically for nothing.
Tivik.
He sent 3 urgent messages
Pivot.
to Green in the past 10 hours.
Green. The rings of Green. Which is why it's like Galen Erso.
Not exactly the hero's welcome I promised, was it? It's a lot for them to take in.
They don't believe you.
Well, I'm doing what I can. I promise.
I suppose it's weird though, the fact that she's on Yavin but then doesn't show up in Rogue One. Like what? Same thing with Val. Oh yeah, Luthen's dead. She doesn't know yet.
What's happened? Luthen's dead. Cassian brought Claire back, but
When did this happen?
just now. Help me believe him.
So I mean, they don't believe it. Like the only way they can believe it is with more people talking about it.
I have some bad news.
You gonna find Luthen?
No, he's dead.
He's dead, Will. He made it worth it.
See, even Willman, like he doesn't show up in Rogue One either. So it's like there's a lot of disconnected shit. Like these characters are so important to Andor, but then don't show up at like the biggest moment. I get that Rogue One is Jin's story, but still.
He won't talk to anybody but Andor.
You won't talk to anyone other than Andor?
Gorn.
Cinta. All the people in Aldani.
Your mother.
Hmm.
Aldani.
The last 2. Well, I guess Claire knew about it too, but still.
I've heard people claim they were there when it happened.
I'd kill anyone I heard say that. Mon wants to know if your Luthen story is real.
Hmm.
Does it matter what he did to us along the way?
Hmm.
None of this exists
Without him.
without him.
Yep.
None of us are here. Claire wouldn't lie about it.
True.
Tell me what she said.
Jedha, Kyber, Erso. Oh. Never mind. What is she doing? What's that music about?
I know this already. Alone, unsure, dwarfed
How?
by the scale of the enemy.
Who's that voice?
Random acts of insurrection are occurring constantly throughout the galaxy.
Is that Nemec? Isn't that Nemec's speech he said to Andor?
Effort, it breaks.
Also, what's going to happen to Partagas now? Because he
leaks.
failed to get
Authority is
Claire.
brittle.
And he's the only one that they can put blame on, right?
Just keeps spreading, doesn't it?
Hmm.
I'm afraid they're waiting for you.
Who? Krennic? No, Krennic wouldn't be there. He's gone to Scarf.
May I have a moment to collect my thoughts?
Is he supposed to, like, go to the Emperor or something? Palpatine? Hmm. He'd rather shoot himself than face the Emperor. Wow. He knew that was going to happen. I mean, like the Grand Inquisitor said, there's fates worse than death.
You should reconnect with Bix.
You know where she is?
She wouldn't be safe with me.
Hmm.
She might disagree.
Once this settles down, maybe.
Uh,
I'll think about it.
You won't have time to think about it. Why would she disagree? She wanted him to keep on fighting. She's going to walk past Val. Although she just stumbled upon his house.
What you did for him, I can't imagine that was easy.
Had to be done.
Tuh.
Know your way out before you go in.
Hmm.
I don't even really know where I am.
Yeah, like this is the first time she's ever been alone since he found her.
You're here with friends.
We've been released.
They threw us out. Tired of listening to him.
Tivik's on Kafrene until tomorrow.
Yeah.
He'll only meet with you. There's an Imperial destroyer parked over Jedha as of 2 days ago. We will warn him so to step away before you came back.
All of it's connected.
Kyber Crystal and ISB Marlin. Luthen dying to get us in motion. Now Tivik keeps calling us.
Yeah, it's too specific. Nice little setup there, because then that's why he's like, Galen!
You need to hear us out.
Oh, flashback to the sister that was never explored. But I get that was on purpose, right? Stop chasing something that you don't know 100% about, right?
The man you do not like is here.
Excuse us, droid. General Draven has your orders. Proceed to your contact, learn what you can. Do it quickly. If I die fighting the Empire, I want to go down swinging.
It's only a few days until then.
You and Luthen would have gotten along much better than you think.
May the Force be with you, Captain.
Shit. He's wearing the stuff from Rogue One. Oh, it's the fucking, what's his name? Power? See what I mean? Like, Wilman, like, doesn't show up again. I still think the Saw stuff with him was fucking pointless. They didn't go anywhere at all. Oh. Mon's husband. Isn't that Skulden's fucking wife? So what happened to Skulden? I didn't even realise we didn't see Dedra. She's on Narkina. Gong droid. She knows what's coming, doesn't she? So you are on Jedha, you little shit. I wasn't expecting to see credit. Yep. There he goes. Into Rogue One. B2. Are they chasing each other? Ah, this is where Bix is. Has she got a kid? Yep. Is it a boy or girl? I think it's a boy, right? The sunrise. Damn. The kid he'll never see. Does she know though? Like, a part of me feels like she's a little bit force sensitive. Does she know he'll die? Is that it? Damn. It's over. Or is it? Because there's Rogue One. No. I mean, that was a good finale, I think. Definitely bittersweet, because you know what's coming, right? I think a lot of the characters that I thought would die managed to live. Like, Clea's alive, Dedra's alive, Vel's alive, Wilman's alive. I mean, that's good. But then, Wilman doesn't show up in Rogue One. Vel doesn't show up in Rogue One. When they're already established to be on Yavin. Clea doesn't show up. After Cassian confirms, you know what I mean, in that big meeting where they talk about the Death Star and shit, like, she's not in that scene. I think it does hurt, like, the movie a little bit, and maybe even the show, the fact that they don't really get brought up again, these characters. Even Luthen doesn't get mentioned at all in Rogue One. I get it, Rogue One is Jin's story, but still, like, obviously back then they didn't have the full story planned out, so obviously there's going to be a lot of disconnected tissue, so to speak. And I think a big disconnected tissue would be Saw's fate in Rogue One. Like, he says he wants to stop running or something like that. He wants to take a stand or whatever. Like, I can't remember what his last words were, but it was kind of stupid. It's like, what are you doing? You're just dying. Like, you didn't do anything this whole time. Like, what are you talking about? You got Tech killed, and now you're just going to accept your fate? Like, he's not taking a stand at all. This show, I think, does hurt Rogue One in a way, but it also kind of enhances it. Because with Rogue One, you don't have any of the context of this show, but now that you've got the context, you start to see the problems with Rogue One, and then you're like, why are these characters a little bit different from how they were in Andor? Like I said, I mean, the Rebels are so secretive in the show, but then in New Hope, they're perfectly okay with the Millennium Falcon coming in, and inviting in a smuggler and all that. I don't know. And they were being tracked. Like, all that secrecy just for them to basically give away where Yavin is to the Empire. Like, I don't know. I get that Leia was with them, but still. Like, there's a lot of things in this show that does hurt the other stuff, like Rogue One, New Hope, but then there's stuff in that does hurt this, so it goes both ways. But yeah, I'm going to get my negatives out of the way. I do feel like this season was hurt just because of the 3-episode time. Like, even Bale mentioned it. Like, you've not seen Luthen in a year? How do you know nothing's changed? Well, based on every 3-episode block, it doesn't really seem much changes, to be honest. Like, nothing happens in that year time jump at all, for some reason. I mean, while I did enjoy the 3-episode blocks, because it was basically like a mini-movie, even though I did enjoy the 3-episode blocks, because they're basically like movies, right? It just annoys me, like I said last episode, that so much was potentially taken away from the story. I feel like there's going to be a bunch of like news and articles that come out after this, talking about like things that were cut and things that didn't make it in or something, and it's going to piss me off reading it. But like the Saw and Wilman scene, what was the point? Served no purpose. Like, it shows that fucking Saw's out of his mind. Like, the speech was great, but then we don't follow that up. Like, how? How do you not follow that up? It's stupid. And then we don't even get to see like how Saw becomes the way he is with his legs and shit. If there was more time for the story to breathe, I think they could have done that, but they had to focus on specific things because they didn't want to waste time on other things. Because they've only got 3 episodes to do it in that year timeline. Would have been better if they did what I said. Season 2, Season 3. Half a season is 1 year. The second half is another year. And then you've got 6 episodes to work with over 3. So you can do a bit more with the story. And like they showed Mon's husband. Like he looked depressed. Like he looked like, you know, he misses her and shit. And he's with Skolden's wife. What happened to Skolden? I guess maybe he was arrested because didn't he like fund like the rebellion in a way? But I mean, as an episode, like I said, I thought it was a pretty solid finale leading straight into Rogue One. It's just wild that they didn't like show Galen and they didn't set any of that up. Like I feel like if they had more time to work with, they probably would have shown Galen. They probably would have shown like Bodhi and all that being set up. I guess technically Galen is more like Jin's story than Andor's. I wasn't expecting to see Krennic, not gonna lie. I thought last episode would have been it for him. But it makes sense. I mean, they're showing a bunch of the characters that have been a part of this story. The only thing that needs to be put on the Death Star now is the dish, right? And that's basically how Rogue One starts, right? But I find it wild and ironic as fuck for Krennic, right? Like, he is above Dedra and basically just says, you know, we'll go on without you, you know, like, we're going to put you in a cell and that's it. Like, he belittles her. In Rogue One, he gets belittled by fucking Tarkin. And technically, isn't the Death Star Tarkin's project? Because in Revenge of the Sith, don't you see Tarkin in a shot? Like when Vader and Palpatine are looking at like parts of the Death Star being built? I know that's set a few years after Revenge, right? Because like at that point, the Empire is pretty well established. It's just weird that they do that time jump. Because I'm pretty sure it is a time jump, right? It was confirmed that that scene in the Star Destroyer with Vader, Palpatine, and Tarkin looking at the Death Star, or like the shells of the Death Star, is a time jump. And if it is, why do you go from that to then Obi-Wan delivering Luke? It did feel like Cassian knew what was coming or something, because he nodded to the Force healer, right? She looked at him, he nodded, a little bit of a nod, right? And then it's like she also knew what was going to happen. But I mean, Cassian's got a kid. He doesn't know that, and he never will. It's kind of bittersweet, right? Like there's a bit of hope on the horizon, technically, right? Even though he doesn't make it, but he goes down swinging, as Bale said. Even though Bale didn't really go down swinging, to be honest. He was just chilling on his planet, and then it all came to an end. The new Bale, I think, did a pretty good job, to be honest. It just sucks, though, because it's like, imagine if it was Jimmy Smits. Because like, they brought everyone, like mostly like all the people that were in the Rebel side from Rogue One back, like Radis, they brought back that motherfucker from Sherlock. Can't remember what his name is in Star Wars. And then the girl with the hood. They're both so annoying. I think the guy with the beard and like he's like, you know, he's like about Luthen. I think he funds. No, he doesn't fund it. I can't remember the specific. He like, I think he does fund it. I can't remember. Like, it's like what Cassian said. You guys have barely done a fraction of what Luthen did. Not even that, I feel like. None of them have fought. Mon and Bale are probably the ones that have done the most in that room, alongside Cassian. But we know Vadis proves himself. Goes out fighting. We never see Vadis die, though. But he definitely does, because, I mean, Vader boards his ship. It does suck that there's quite a few deleted scenes in Rogue One that I wish were put in this. There's a scene in one of the trailers for Rogue One where Krennic is talking to Vader on one of the Star Destroyers. I hate when stuff shows up in a trailer for a movie or a TV show and then that scene is just not included in the show or movie. It's just like, why the fuck is it in the trailer then? I'm pretty sure they had a shot of Cassian in his Rogue One gear walking through Yavin in one of the trailers for the season. Why? I mean, obviously you don't know the context of it, but I hate shit like that. It reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 shit, where they have the final shot of the film in the trailer. Like, you don't know that watching the trailer, but then when you look back on it, it's like, why the fuck did they put that in there? It's so dumb. The top positives. I mean, I really enjoy the K2 shit. Like, K2 just throwing the Imperial guys. Pargaz killing himself. I mean, I love the actor who plays Pargaz. I think his name's fucking Anton Lesser. He did a great job with that final scene. Like, it's basically what the Grand Inquisitor said. There's fates worse than death. Because I assume he had to go confront Palpatine, right? And explain himself. But obviously he'd prefer doing that. And the guy that was, you know, with him, like, he knew he was going to do that. Dedra being on Narkina, I don't know if it's Narkina 5 I mean, we all talked about the Death Star theory. I thought the Death Star theory was pretty good, to be honest. It would be ironic as fuck. But, I mean, so is this, to be fair. I mean, didn't Dedra literally say her parents were criminals? And now she is one? And what would they be doing on Narkina? Would they be building the second Death Star? That's the only problem with like the original trilogy. Well, I mean, there's a few problems, but the original trilogy doesn't really explain. I don't think they ever explain, even in Legends, that much. Not like that matters because it's not canon. But it's annoying how the Death Star 2 even gets made because it just appears. It's like, oh yeah, let's just do the same thing again, but this time we've got a shield around it. It's like, why the fuck didn't it have a shield around it before? Like, a part of me would like to think Vel and some other characters did go to Scarif with Cassian, but it's just a shame that we didn't get to see that in Rogue One. Like, it would be sick if they redid Rogue One with, like, Willman and stuff, like, the Star Wars story, Rogue One, the Andor version, or something like that. But I get it, Rogue One's Jen's story. It does annoy me that there's not a lot of connective tissue there in terms of, like, the characters, because there's no way Cassian wouldn't go to fucking Willman and Clea about, like, it being a real thing, like the Death Star's real. Maybe he did, it just happened off screen, but still. You think Vel would go fighting on Scarif with Cassian, like the last survivors of Aldhani? Well, not for long. I guess if Vel doesn't go to Scarif, she's the only one left. Yeah, I mean, they did change Mon's hairstyle. I get why, though. I mean, it's like technically to keep her in hiding, but not really, because she doesn't dye her hair. Like, I feel like it'd be more effective if she dyed her hair, because then people wouldn't be able to tell it's her, but whatever. I don't really get the change. I guess it's just to be like, you know, she's more normal now, and she's not really a senator. Also, at the beginning of this episode, it's not really like a huge complaint, but I'm just curious about that. Is that green screen in that window? Because the rest of the window was like the outside, and you could see all the buildings in the distance, but then that one area of the window was just green for some reason. If it wasn't in last episode, then we know it's a green screen. Okay, it is in last episode. There's no way then. Yeah, it's just a green... That's so weird. Why is it green? Like, all the other windows you can just see through, but then that one's green. That's weird. Yeah, I also heard, I think last week, that the actress who plays Clea, like, this is one of her first acting jobs, or it was her first. The first thing you do is this. I don't know how to feel like on the show ending, because it's like, it's over. Like, it came and went so quick. It was only a few weeks ago it came back on. We waited 2 years and now it's done. Yeah, I think it was 3 years. The first season was 2022, right? But yeah, I mean, it does suck like it's all over now, but I mean, you've got Rogue One. I also did say last episode, I might rewatch and react to Rogue One, but now that I've thought about that, probably not, because I mean, like I said last episode, I just think it'd be a bit stupid for me to do that because I've only just rewatched it before Season 2 started. If I didn't do that, then maybe, but yeah. Andor enhances Rogue One, but it could also hurt Rogue One at the same time, and it's vice versa. Like, Rogue One can enhance Andor, but then it can also hurt Andor. You know, if Rogue One was made now, maybe it would be better. You know, like as like the conclusion to Andor's story or whatever, but the fact that it was made before this kind of hurts specific things. But as a prequel series, I think it did a very good job. I just wish there was more time dedicated to a year in the timeline versus only doing 3 episodes, but I've only felt that in this last week, to be honest. A show or movie after Andor is definitely going to be hard to top this, you know, writing-wise. Because you're going to look back on Andor when watching like Ahsoka Season 2 and you're going to be like, damn, look how good we had it with the writing. But it's not like Ahsoka is going to be bad, it's just going to be different, you know? And that's always a big problem with franchises and long-running media because, you know, certain things are written better, certain things aren't. You know, there's some highs, there's lows, it's all over the place, right? That's just how it is. So we can just hope the next Star Wars project is going to be really good, but we'll have to see. Like, will it be as good as this? Probably not, because I mean, they put a lot of effort into this show from the set design, like they put money into this show. And the acting, just everything, the scripts. And this even applies to like the George stuff, right? The stuff George was in charge of, like the original trilogy, and then you had the prequel trilogy, and then the prequel trilogy wasn't as well received as the original trilogy, with Phantom Menace being little bit weak. I have looked back on Phantom Menace much better nowadays, because it's like Qui-Gon and just everything surrounding that and all the stuff they do with Darth Maul. Now granted, all that shit kind of only gets enhanced because of Clone Wars. And the same thing applies to Attack of the Clones. Like, certain things get enhanced because of Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. Even though I think Revenge of the Sith is the best prequel movie. I just really hate how none of them believed Cassian. They will. I mean, they'll even question it later in Rogue One, right? Like, the Death Star. Like, fuck off, man. We've got you this information. But yeah, I really like how it leads straight into Rogue One, with him going to Kafrene. Nice to have some callbacks to Season 1, like obviously the Aldani shit. But I guess the biggest thing would be Nemik's, I guess, manifesto? Right? Like, part of guys listening to that. I don't know really what to say. Like, I enjoyed the show, I enjoyed this episode, but I just wish there was more, you know? And at the same time, it's like, it's too early for me to review the show as a whole. Like, I need time to think. I don't think I'll ever, like, put out a review for the whole show or whatever, but still, you know. I mean, I could do what I did with The Ones Who Live. I could do a stream where we just talk about the show as a whole, or whatever. You know what would be a cool idea for a show? I don't know if they'll ever do it. I'd love a show, like, set between episode 4 and 5. Even though I've said it numerous times before, I am kind of fed up with the Galactic Empire and, like, the prequel trilogy stuff. Let's go back, or let's go forward. Like, I want to go back to Old Republic. But at the same time, it's like, will they fuck that up, you know? Yeah, I mean, I'd love a show set between episodes 4 and 5, like, after the destruction of the Death Star, after the ceremony. Which is weird. The fact that they do that ceremony and, like, they give everyone medals and stuff after the Death Star's destruction, don't the Empire know that they're on Yavin, though? Outside of just who was on the Death Star? Unless Tarkin didn't tell anyone. Like, they kept it secret to themselves or something. But if he did, then surely a bunch of other fucking Star Destroyers are going to be coming to Yavin, right? So they have to get out of there. Yeah, the beginning of the episode with her being killed by K2. He picked him up, used him as a shield, and then just threw him. I'm surprised there wasn't any kind of scene with Drina and K2. Because, like, he was responsible, he was there when her people were thrown about, but oh well. Yeah, I mean, overall, really enjoyed it. You can check out my other reactions to the show on the channel. I've reacted to every episode except the Prison Break one, which I really regret not reacting to that. And I think it might have been like episode 4 or 5 of last season. I'm not 100%. I know I missed at least 2 episodes reacting to them. But yeah, outside of that, every other episode is available for you guys to watch and to see my reaction to. I'm going to miss the show. It sucks it's already over, and I do wish, like I said, it was 3 seasons instead of 2, because there would be more to work with, but it is what it is. But yeah, there's not been a Star Wars show that's been announced for the rest of this year yet. I mean, we've got the Maul Shadow Lords show, but I don't know when that's coming out. It could be next year, or it could be late this year. But outside of that, in terms of reactions, we've still got Last of Us, we've still got Dead City, Iron Heart's coming on next month. So, you know, we're good for a little bit, and hopefully Stranger Things Season 5. We'll see, though. But, I mean, that basically sums it all up. So I hope you enjoyed my reactions to Andor, and I will see you for the next video. Ta-ta, and farewell.